All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second in the stream series. Hopefully you can hear me. I had a little hiccup during the first stream. So let's see. Seems like we're good. So thank you all for joining. I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited that I can do my intro without being muted. So my name is April Schupel. I'm a senior developer advocate here at Appian. And that means my job is all about making sure that Appian developers like doing their job. So today we have some very special guests on the stream. I am not going to be hosting alone, and it won't just be me and another Appian colleague. We have a very special MVP guest from our community. So to kick things off, let me introduce to you my co-host. We actually have known each other as long as we've known Appian because we started on the same day a little over 4 years ago. The one and only Will Goye. Hey, Will.
Hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening for wherever you're coming from. Very excited to be here. Very excited to host this live stream event to launch the YouTube channel with you, April, and with everyone in the chat. I see a lot of people. Got people from California, from Virginia, from Boston. Very exciting to see all of you. And feel free to just drop your location to kind of acknowledge that we're really an international community, which is definitely awesome.
Yeah, Will is calling in from France right now, and I'm calling in from Washington, D.C. I know you shouted out a lot of places, Will, but you didn't shout out New Jersey, and as my home state, I gotta make sure I give that New Jersey shout out.
You gotta represent, I understand.
So, Will, we're here to launch this YouTube channel. We did a bit of a soft launch. We already got a lot of people picking up on it and joining. But why don't you tell the people a little bit more about what they can expect from this channel?
Yeah, for sure. So this is a great time to be an Appian developer or an Appian practitioner in general. This YouTube channel will be the place to learn amazing things, whether you're an Appian developer, whether you're an analyst working with, Appian applications, planning Appian applications, building Appian applications. And really, I think there's three main things that you can use from this channel. First thing is going to be to learn things, right? There's already a couple of videos, more than a couple of videos, actually a good catalog of videos already there. Long videos, shorter videos, of course, videos about building applications, about very specific tasks that you want to do. So the idea is that you have a question, there's probably a video that answers that question. And we're going to be asking you throughout this stream as well what you want to see, what you want to learn about in this YouTube channel. The second thing that I think is very valuable is kind of the community aspect. So in the comments, it's a great place to kind of put down your thoughts, put down your questions after you've seen a video. So feel free to do that. Really, it's here, and I think the YouTube comment space is awesome for that. And the last thing I think is to keep up to date with the new features of the platform. Appian is such a platform that moves so quickly. It's really great because when we started with April 4 years ago, the platform was very different from what it is now. So that's awesome to see. And basically, there will be videos on this channel to explain all the new features, all the greatest and latest. And this is very important, especially for those developers who learned Appian, maybe a while ago, and need to kind of freshen up on those new features.
Yeah, and I think Will, like you said, 4 years ago we were in Academy trying to learn Appian, and Academy was a great time, and we built really cool apps. But with all the new features, like literally there have been 16 Appian releases since we joined, and I think we could probably do that project that took us a week probably less than 2 hours now, right? So staying up to date is really the best way to make sure that you are able to make the most out of using Appian and building as fast as you can so you can build more and build better. So that's the channel. But not only do we have these virtual things to offer you, we also have some great events. And for this stream, we are going to be raffling off a pass to Appian World 2023 in beautiful San Diego, California. So this is going to be the first of a few raffles that we're going to be doing throughout. So make sure to go ahead, scan the entry form. I think we'll drop the link in the chat as well. But go ahead and sign up for the raffle. We will have raffles throughout, like I said, and announce the winners at the end. So make sure that you're registered for Appian Community, though, because that is a requirement to be able to actually receive the prize. What do you think about that, Will? Free pass to Appian World?
Well, look, I think those events are awesome, especially that, we've been kind of cooped up in our houses for, a long time now. And just, you're able to see kind of the people you work with. I had the chance recently to kind of see my colleagues, and, it's kind of a feeling it's an awesome feeling. It feels like, yeah, we can work from home, right? And sure we can, but it hits differently when you see the people you work with, colleagues, but also people who want to share their enthusiasm for the platform, the power of the platform, and the speed of development, which is awesome. So definitely get into that raffle, and a good luck to win it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely great hanging out with Appian developers. I mean, I love just nerding out with developers. I guess I have the perfect job for that, but it really is a great time, and we do put on some really fantastic events. One of my other, favorite parts of Appian World is seeing some people who, I see all the time online, but maybe don't get the chance in person as much. And our very special guest for this stream is definitely one of those people. If you've used community discussions ever, I am sure this guy has answered at least one of your questions. So who is it? Well, Mike Schmitt, of course. He's a senior Appian developer at SOC LLC, and even though we have a couple of folks who are giving him a run for his money this year, he is the #1 all-time community discussions leader, has jumped out of plane more times than I ever would. I mean, I don't even think I would do one. So without further ado, Mike Schmitt, welcome to the stream. How's it going?
Hey, I'm great. How about you guys?
Pretty good. Happy to be here with you. I don't know, Will, why don't you get us started with the questions?
Yes, definitely. I do have a question. And right before that, if anyone is tuning in right now, so we're, unveiling the YouTube channel, and we're having a guest star as Mike here, who's, been the #1 answerer of questions on community. So right away, before we jump into a question that we have for Mike in the chat, feel free to drop some questions for Mike that we're going to ask later on. So just take, challenging questions or easy questions as you wish. Feel free to do that. So Mike, could you tell us a bit about, kind of your background and how you came to learn about Appian and your journey into Appian?
Oh, great. It's a long history. It's been just over 10 years now since I started in Appian development. My prior career had been in the kind of dirty and inconsistent line of hardware tech support for retail equipment in the local area. That was fun, but like it was like I said, the hours were super inconsistent and weird, and like also I wasn't using my computer science degree at all in that. So I actually just kind of lucked out one day. A job recruiter for my former company found my resume online, and they offered to bring me on board and train me, given my computer science degree. And I hadn't actually heard of any of the, the low-code or business process platforms yet. But I knew enough about development to be kind of flexible, and the training was, the training I did at Appian was nice and straightforward. I found it pretty easy, and within a year, I was on my first big federal project. And I've always kind of kept a tab open on the Appian, what used to be Appian Forum, now Appian Community, to field questions, find answers of my own here and there. I guess the shift was gradual between asking more versus answering more, but I guess that's how it goes. But yeah, it's been a great time. And then now I've been with my current company for just over 2 years as the sort of lead architect and jack of all trades for our Appian system.
Yeah, that's awesome, Mike. And I know you've mentioned to me before that sometimes you'll have a question, you look it up, and you answered it 2 years ago. So helping yourself out, it's kind of like an Appian diary of sorts, but publicly, so that everyone else can appreciate it as well. So part of this YouTube channel is trying to make videos, learning videos, but a series that I want to do is creating commonly asked question videos, so that you and the other folks answering a lot of questions can maybe just drop a link to the video explainer instead of having to answer it multiple times. So, are you excited about the YouTube channel? How are you feeling? What do you think people are going to be able to get out of it?
Oh, I'm looking forward to having some pre-configured answers to be able to drop into discussions like that, just like you said. I don't know what I'm not sure exactly how that's going to change the landscape, other than the fact that I believe it will, and I kind of look forward to seeing sort of how that plays out with how the the whole community answering goes.
What do you think? What are your advices for someone who is just about starting to learn Appian? Like, what's the process that they should follow to now with the YouTube channel that is out? What has worked for you to kind of learn this platform?
I mean, other than we actually just hired a new developer to join our team, and she was able to go through some of the self-guided stuff on Appian Community. And had, from what I hear, pretty good success with that. And then she went ahead and took the instructor-led training as well. And then, apart from sort of those initial steps of doing the guided trainings, my advice for sort of development stuff in general is always just to maybe just play with it, like play with the technology, figure out something you'd like to do, and then mess with it until you figure out how to do that. The Appian documentation, always, even now, I keep it open in a browser tab usually, and it's been a great help to me. Like back when I was first starting, I would just browse through some of the text functions and other similar things like that, and either try to figure out something to do or just read up on what the different functionalities available were, and let that sort of maybe inspire me to try something. And just even nowadays, when I start a new on a new tool or a new ticket or anything like that, I usually just try to get something down to where I can just start experimenting and get stuff built up.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome. Yeah.
The experimentation is huge, and Stefan mentioned this in our earlier stream. But you can't. It's very hard to break Appian, right? Like, don't be afraid to, when you're learning, just try. A lot of times when I'm mentoring new developers and they're like, "Oh, how do I do this?" I'll be like, "Well, what do you think?" And they'll give an answer, and it's like, "Yeah, that sounds good. Have you tried it?" No. Okay, try it out. But yeah, I mean, the content and everything has only been getting better, and this YouTube channel, that's really going to be the next iteration of that, right? And I've always loved our docs. Like back in the day when I joined, I really made use of all of the function and query recipes, but now with patterns, we have so much of that out of the box. Like if I'm in a new interface, I can drag templates, I can drag patterns, and get a lot of great starting points there. So I don't know what else we got. Will, do we want to browse the chat a little bit? Any questions?
Go for the chat, and there's a couple of questions for Mike. And first of all, I want to say kind of hello to everyone who's joined. That's awesome to see you, San, Manasa, Matt, Raul. And there's one question that I've seen from Sydney. So Mike, what are your top 3 favorite features that have been released recently?
Oh dear. Okay, can I cheat and pull up the release notes?
Yeah, okay.
Sure, you can. And recently or not, right? Like it could be in your life of developer, enough of Appian practitioner.
Well, I mean, if we're good enough. I don't know, the biggest thing that's still sort of recent to me that most people around here won't find all that recent was the complete overhaul of the paging grid, because the old version, just like, you couldn't put anything in a grid cell that wasn't plain text, and that was a real well, it was a real bummer, to put it politely. And then in 19.2 they released a brand new revised version that just completely replaced the existing one, and now we have so much more functionality there. And then the other new things, the being match, I'm getting having a kick going through my old legacy code, swapping out places that use the old choose function that always crash when you try to debug an interface, because there wasn't a default set that choose can understand, and it just gives you a pink error of death.
I think that's quite a throwback that probably a lot of people in the chat have never even seen or used the choose function, but. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I have some friends watching who this is all going to sound like Latin to. So hi guys, we're talking about coding stuff.
Yeah. No, but the new grids, awesome. They're really great to use, and even when you're setting up a new record, and how easy it is to change the display options from the default, and just so much more that helps you very quickly make something not just work very well, but also look very beautiful. It's pretty incredible. What about record relationships, Mike? Because I know you got to be in the first live build challenge right when those were coming out, and it was a game changer being able to switch from views to record relationships. So now that you've had more time with them, how do you feel about them?
I think it's promising. I mean, I'm so one of the things that sort of biases me out of the gate is I'm still on a project that uses more legacy database stuff. So I actually have a demo set up on one of our existing record types, like a completely secondary copy of that main record type that I'm going through and fleshing out the record relationships for. In plans to maybe swap it over one day, to rip out the old one and swap in the new one, because that, among other things, that might just speed everything up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the existing one is it has 60 related actions set up on, and it's just so slow. And I'm hoping the new one, swapping over to the new style, would give that all a jump start.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one part of Appian is we're coming out with new features faster than we can update and keep up to date with them. But they definitely, wherever you can use them, wherever you can start using all of the new great record features with synced records and everything, it totally speeds things up a lot.
Yeah. It's really awesome to see those new features, and kind of. I think we take it for granted that there is a release every quarter there that is pretty consequential. It's not just cosmetic enhancements, but it's not the standard. Appian goes fast, and that's something we have to kind of remind ourselves and be grateful for, I feel. And I'm seeing a question that I want to ask Mike as well. So first of all, thank you for everyone tuning in. There is some giveaways. If you just go back up to the chat, you'll see them in the links where we can, one of the giveaways is going to be a pass to Appian World. So, just enter into that. You have to be registered to Appian Community, but after that, you can fill in your name in the form up the chat.
Yep.
So I'm seeing a question from Saif Ali Khan. What keeps you motivated to kind of continue to contribute to the Appian community? What do you like about it?
I mean, I just like helping people out, and I find sort of on the greedy side of that, I find that reading through people's questions and thinking about what I'd answer helps keep me sharp, and gives some opportunities to practice, and in some cases opportunities to try something that I wouldn't have thought of trying anyway. One of my favorite examples which people who've already heard this anecdote are going to roll their eyes, but like if I can go back like about 3 years, someone posted a question where they're like, hey, I need to convert, I need an Appian way to convert a number to like base 18 or something weird, like something where there's no standard functionality to do that. And there were all kinds of comments on the thread already saying, oh, well, you can like, well, you probably need to do a Java function or a plugin or, you know, put something in the database. And I was like, okay, guys, I haven't done this, but like, this is definitely doable in an expression rule using out of the box code. And I just sat down and figured it the hell out and wrote it, and
that's awesome.
And posted it in a comment within like a couple of hours after seeing that.
I've definitely downloaded a few of your .sail files to go and look and see how you've been able to do things. And I think that's also a great testament to Appian, right? Is like it takes care of a lot of things for you, but it's still such a powerful platform that you can figure out ways to do those more complicated things that you might have some random use case for, right? You're not completely limited, but it speeds up and gets you like most of the way there on a lot of what you need.
Yeah. And I think as well, like what we can see, I think you're definitely an inspiration for the people who are learning and who, you know, will be in your shoes, mentoring other people and, you know, answering questions in community. The reality is that when you're answering questions, you're not just answering for the sake of the other person. You're also learning, as you just said. And so I think, you know, for anyone who's learning, anyone who's joining and who wants to learn in Appian, you know, use this as kind of the drive to say, okay, well, at some point I will be able to mentor people just like you are, just like Harshit is doing, who's in the chat and who'll be joining us in the live stream tomorrow. So, you know, it's a great inspiration. And I want to ask you a question, Mike, about certifications. What do you think certifications are important, and why should, you know, an Appian developer strive to get those certifications?
Well, anyone who's out in the regular industry, a certification is going to be attractive to your, you know, apparently, assuming you're working for a consultancy company, it's going to be attractive to your company, and it's going to be attractive to you, you know, both on your, you know, LinkedIn and so forth, and also just for personal, you know, glory. For me, now that I'm technically in a customer company, I guess it's a little bit less, but, you know, I went ahead and did it anyway, just for, you know, to have it on my profile. But
yeah,
that's one of these days, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I do really enjoy the. I'm actually keeping up with the release showcase trainings now. I really enjoy how, you know, I've had the top level certification at least 3 separate times now, and it was always a little frustrating that there was like this death clock that starts counting down after you get it, where, you know, you're going to have to go through the pain of doing it again. And it's always, you know, I've done 3 different versions now. And I really like how the release showcase training, which I actually did one this morning to get the 22.3 off my to-do list. I like how that, you know, now pushes your expiration date back. So I definitely appreciate that new feature.
It's very convenient. Yeah.
But everyone should get it.
Yeah.
It you know, shows you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it gives your company some additional cred.
For sure. And we're going to be giving one out to someone in the audience today. So time for another raffle entry. So again, we already announced we will be giving out a free pass to Appian World 2023. And we will also be giving away a certification voucher to take whatever level that you're currently at. You'll be able to take that certification exam. So make sure you're going in, filling out your information in the entry form, and make sure you're also registered for community, because you will need to be able to accept the prize. So
yes, awesome. Mike, there is another question that I'll to ask you questions apparently as you see. So Matt is asking us, where do you see the steepest learning curve for new Appian developers? What is the toughest thing to understand, and the thing basically that new developers should practice the most?
Oh dear. Well, this might be hard for me, since I'm just a little out the gate of being a new developer. So I'm picturing it through the eyes of the girl I'm currently training. I guess one of the biggest learning curves is just kind of putting it all together, if you know what I mean. Like wrapping, the many disparate parts, which this isn't a complaint in any extent, but there are many different disconnected parts of the development sort of experience, and that the fact that it is that way gives us loads of power and flexibility. But I mean, it is a little bit of a challenge, like bringing that all together, keeping it all in mind, figuring out just how to go and actually build stuff at first, I think. So I've been stepping through a ticket to build a new report with our trainee developer, and she's really she's been keeping up really well. But I can just feel sort of like the like, well, I know this seems confusing, but just trust me for a little bit and it'll come together eventually. And I don't think there is an easy way around that, that like doesn't take away some of the flexibility we developers enjoy. I think it's just a fact of life. And maybe some new training innovations might help smooth those edges some. But I think it's that's going to be one of the things that's probably always a little bit harder to deal with overall.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the better use cases for videos though, since that's good for visual learners.
Yeah, I mean, training innovation, like a new YouTube channel meant just for helping developers get up to speed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are a lot of parts and a lot of objects that you need to like help work together. But I would actually say, Mike, so I know you have that CS background. I personally don't. And I have found that I think for people with non-traditional coding backgrounds, it's actually also kind of a plus that you're getting to work with every layer of how an app is built, and like from the beginning, learning to understand how they all work together versus being just a back-end developer or just a front-end developer or anything like that, right? You really get to see every piece and how they work together really well. So
yeah, that's sometimes an analogy that I used when I was training folks is, we use the Lego brick analogy of saying you can build applications. It's like assembling Lego bricks. And sometimes, if you think back to, being younger and being in a room playing with Legos, they're kind of like all over the place, and you want to build something, right? And so sometimes that you've got the right brick that you want to put on top of this one, but you need to find it. So that's usually, it's kind of like somewhere in the case. And so that's kind of the way I say, well, you're looking for an interface, or you're looking to figure out which interface you want to use. It's like you're reaching out to, the box where there's like, quite a few Legos there, and you just need to like find the right one to put it on top, and then you'll be good. So yeah,
that's fair.
All right, I'm seeing a lot of people come in, so I'm seeing a lot of questions. So Mike won't be able to answer all those questions today, but feel free to drop them in community. He's there. And I think last question for you, Mike, and then we'll thank you. Is what do you want to see on this YouTube channel in terms of content, or what's happening on this YouTube channel?
I don't know if I have a really unique insight for that, but I'm just looking forward to seeing different sort of ground up tutorials, overviews, maybe start to end example processes. Maybe I personally, I suppose, would like to see a little bit of attention paid, at least, to stuff that deals more with at least somewhat more legacy functionality, I suppose. Like there are going to be new developers being hired for projects where everything they're doing is still CDT and data store entity based. So the newer construct is cool and better in ways, but there are some people who won't be in a position to actually make use of that and would need instruction on the old ways where it's not up to us, the developers, but it's up to the customer or up to the customer's organization, whether they ever change over to a different construct.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing. But I think there's a lot of opportunities for just various different things that people can use. Highly visual examples, run-throughs, demos, etc. So other than that, I don't really have any terribly specific things.
It's already great.
Maybe
great ideas.
Maybe a debate between you and Stefan, and some sort of practitioner best practices debates or something like that could be cool.
We'll have the great index versus property debate.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Gotta love Appian jokes. So, Mike, any last words? I mean, we really appreciate you taking the time today, and the chat was blowing up with people talking about their appreciation for you and how you're a legend. So, know that you're very appreciated in this community.
I'm good. I think I just really appreciate the opportunity to be involved in this.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much, Mike.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Mike. And so before we go to another giveaway, I know we're giving away everything today. We want to know about what you want to see in this YouTube channel. So Mike has shared what he wants to see on this YouTube channel. Now, what do you want to see? And so I've seen a couple of things already, people who've been putting in the chat what they want to see, which is awesome. So keep doing that. Keep doing that in the chat right now, because we want to kind of capture, and this YouTube channel is for you. So we want to really tailor it to your needs and desires as much as we can. And while you put this in the chat, April, how about we give away something more?
Oh, the next raffle giveaway. Well, we all love it. Some great swag. So the winner will be able to get their choice of a nice set of headphones, a Hydro Flask water bottle, or a nice Appian duffel bag. So you can go ahead and scan that QR code if you're just joining in, or we'll drop that link to the forum again in the chat to register. Remember, you need to be registered for community to be able to actually get the raffle. So make sure you're also registered for community. And, being registered for community, it gives you access to a lot of great stuff. Like what great stuff?
I mean, a lot of, first of all, discussions and answers from Mike, which, is very close to sheer happiness. So that's one thing. Of course, you're going to get a newsletter. That's something that is very important. You can get, the newsletter that comes, I believe, every month.
Yeah, every month.
Where you have all the latest and greatest about Appian, new features, new events that are happening. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to sign up.
I mean, okay, personally, maybe this is a little biased, but I think the best reason, because without this, all the other things wouldn't really make a lot of sense, that every single person who registers for community can get their very own Appian environment within just a few minutes. I mean, that's crazy.
Is that? Yeah. So that's something that before we had Appian Community Edition was a tough thing for people because they didn't have a place, an easy place to kind of try and experience. And now, if you just want to try out Appian, you've got your own environment. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
So that's very exciting, and it's only going to get better.
Only going to get better. That's for sure. We have great new experiences coming to it all the time, and it also gives you the opportunity to follow along with all of our great training content on Academy Online and within this YouTube channel. So let's look at the chat again and see if there's any last questions or ideas we maybe want to call out. Have you seen anything?
There's a couple of things. So design patterns, edge cases, the tricks that can be played with Appian. That's one thing. There was a lot of things about, advanced process model that, were mentioned before. So a lot of, this is something that we are deeply aware of, is that, this YouTube channel is not just going to be about beginner content. It's going to be about more senior, more advanced stuff, because we know Appian can be, easy to learn, but then how do you scale it up? How do you make sure that it is fit for an enterprise application? Because at the end of the day, that's what we want to build, right? We want to build, enterprise mission critical applications on Appian, and this is going to be, the place where you can learn some more stuff around, from your laptop, creating enterprise applications. So that's going to be, the cool stuff that we've seen here, and then of course we're going to have, one of the things around debates with Mike, Stefan, and Harshit. That's going to be great to see as well.
Yeah, no. Being at Appian World, it was really great hearing their conversations and everything, and just getting to get the chance to mix and mingle with other Appian developers, because maybe I'm biased, but it's a pretty great career, and it's a great way to spend your work week. So
Yeah.
Will, I think we're about ready to announce the winners of the
Yes,
raffles.
but right before that, we need to have people subscribe to the channel,
Oh,
and then
of
they
course.
might deserve to hear
Of course.
the winners. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, because there will be more content coming soon, more live streams, more tutorials, more stuff, more learning just for you.
Yep.
And we'll be expecting you. So hold us accountable for that. So
Yep.
subscribe.
And, you will see some familiar faces on there. So, Will and I may or may not have a little competition of views, likes on our videos. So, go ahead, maybe keep us neck and neck, go and like and subscribe, like and comment on all of them. All right. Anything else? Raffle winners?
I think we can go for it.
Okay. So first up, we have the certification voucher. So the winner of that is going to be Tanya Savoboda. So we will be reaching out to raffle winners to your email address. So don't worry, you don't have to contact us. We'll get in contact with you. Next up, the winner of Tech Swag, we got Shivika V winning that great prize. And of course, the big one, the $1,000 value pass to Appian World 2023 in beautiful San Diego, California. We have Rahul Sharma winning that raffle. So congrats to all the winners. Thank you so much for joining us today. I had a lot of fun. Will, I don't know about you.
That was awesome. It's awesome to see everyone. We got about, more than 150 people watching. It's great to see this community, come together even more than it was already before. It's going to be, the next month and years are going to be awesome to be in the Appian space. So stick around, be excited about it, and hopefully we'll see you in person in some event. Maybe.
Yeah. Appian Europe coming up, Appian World. Make sure you're staying up to date on our socials, on the YouTube channel, on community, and you'll see all of the great plans we have coming for developers. So thank you all very much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.